everyone. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining me. This is TC, and I'm back for another episode. Today, we're going to discuss just full-on education on everything, because I know we've touched on it in the past on kind of educating yourself on the different policies that the politicians are offering, but I really think we need to dive a little deeper into it, because there's a lot of policies getting thrown out right now, and I don't necessarily know if everybody's going to think deep enough into these policies to, really make an informed decision. So the first one I think that needs to be discussed is the home buyer credit of $25,000. Now, on its face, sounds like a solid policy. You help out a new home buyer, help them get a house. I think, we're putting so much money and spending so much money that, helping people get homes, I think would be a good thing. But there are some catches to this thing. First and foremost, there's a difference between buying a home and being able to maintain the home. Maintain it by making the payments, maintaining the house itself, paying for the insurance. There's a lot of costs that add up, and I don't know if some people have thought through on how much home ownership costs in respect to how much they're making. I know it's a calculation I've had to put into my equation. That's why I don't own a home right now. But in any event, this is something that could be a problem if we end up as a country using this credit and getting a lot of people in homes and having those homes get repossessed and taken over by the country or the bank or whoever's going to be doing the financing on this loan. That would be an issue. So that's the first issue that I see with this whole plan. The second issue is I'm seeing it in other states offering right now is where this would go to help out illegal migrants. My stance on immigration is pretty simple. I love the fact of how diverse our country is. I do think we should definitely allow immigration into this country, but I'm not a person that advocates just for, an open invitation to as many people that come in. I don't know. I don't know what the right number is. I'm not advocating that, but that's kind of my stance on this. And so, if you haven't paid into the tax system, I don't think it's right for anybody to be taking $25,000 away. Just my opinion on that. But, I'm sure there's other counter arguments and whatnot. And so, those are the arguments I would love to hear. If anybody wants to share them, I'm an open mind. So if you say something that really makes sense to me, resonates, I will, switch my viewpoint. That's just how it works for me. But in any event, the last part of that plan is, well, how do you get the money? Do you get it up front? Is it a loan? Is it a tax credit? Need to know a little bit more details about this before I'm really looking to make the decision. And that's why the policy itself is just not defined enough for me to really understand it. But those are the things that you should be looking into when you actually look into that. Second policy that I was really questioning was the policy I heard, I think it was, Kamala Harris said that she was going to do price fixing. And this policy on its face sounds great. Who doesn't want to have a better deal on groceries? I surely do. I mean, man, I could use it. But what are the consequences of this? You got to think deeper about this. Now, the first one that just glares out at me is the government's now in control of companies. They're going to tell companies what they can sell things for and what their profits are, and that's an issue in itself. That in itself is an issue because government has bungled so many things. The last thing I want my government to do is to be getting involved in housing, is to be getting involved in our food. I'm good on that. You should be good on that too, I would think. But again, if you got an argument for that, please share it. Secondly, it's, what's going to happen is, I would think that if the price gets fixed, then there's going to have to either be quality is going to have to be lowered, and or workers are going to have to be let go. And from what I've seen in the past when this has been done, what happens is it ends up working for the very short term, and then you end up having shortages, and then you have a lot of issues. And it's just a slippery slope to start there, because then they start price fixing everything, and then we are basically kind of moving towards communism, which that's what Russia does, is communism. So not something I'm really, advocating we do. Not saying there aren't parts to every different style of government that maybe would be beneficial. I think a nice hybrid model would probably be best, but we're not diving into all that right now. We're talking about just the making educated decisions. So you got to think like levels deep on that stuff. And then you got to think about what your candidates are doing. Like, what really drives you? I know with me, my biggest driver is the economy. And the economy is a pretty wide range term. In regards to the economy, I'm looking for jobs to be plentiful. Not only myself, but others to find jobs, be able to support families, and be able to take care of yourselves, because there's a dependence that when you get caught on the government, it's tough to get off, and it's not the way most people want to live. They want to be able to pay for themselves and their family and provide and work and strive to get better. And so I'd say that that's a big factor in my decision this year. And so if you could just share your decisions and what you're looking for. But that was just kind of like a little rundown on how to really dive in and look at a policy decision from a candidate, and you can really pull the layers back on the onion to see if it really fits what you're looking for. So please share the comments below. I would love to hear it, and we'll continue this discussion next time. Thanks.